Hi Panthers, my name is Nessa Bowen and welcome to another Take Care of Yourself Tuesday video. This week we're going to be doing something super fun, melting crayon art. So let me show you what I mean. So this is what I've done before on a canvas with crayons where you melt them down and it creates a cool effect. This one's of a tent with a corgi in it. That's not what we're doing today, but it's a similar concept. And the reason we do these activities every week is just to make sure you all are reminded to take some time out for yourself and actually engaging in any type of activity where you're using the creative side of your brain and you are not focusing on things that are stressing you out. You're actually more likely to have less stress. And so engaging in art activities and other creative things can decrease your overall feelings of stress. And that's why we here at the Counseling Center try to give you all some sort of activity every week that you can try out to try to relieve your stress. So this week we're going to do melted crayon art. I'm excited, so let's get started. Okay, so for this project you are going to need a canvas or a white sheet of paper or whatever it is that you decide that you want to put your masterpiece onto. So for me, I chose to get a canvas. However, you could definitely get a piece of cardboard or you could get a piece of printer paper or really whatever you want to use. So I've got my canvas. Another thing you're going to want to get is you're going to want to get some crayons, wax crayons. Typical crayons that we're going to use for this project. The other thing you're going to need is some type of glue. I chose to go with hot glue, so I'm going to use hot glue and a hot glue gun, but I think you might be able to use other types of glue, potentially super glue or maybe even Elmer's glue. And then the final thing that you're definitely going to need is a blow dryer. So I have my blow dryer here, so I've got everything ready. And so now it's just about getting started. So as I was trying to decide what I wanted to put on my canvas, I was looking online and I saw some examples of some really cute black cutouts of two little kids who were playing in the rain with an umbrella, and I thought that could look really cool as I melt the wax down to have the umbrella and kind of let the wax go on the other sides of the umbrella. So I chose to do this. So I printed that out and then I got my scissors and I cut out the black figures and I glued it down just with some basic glue. And so now I'm ready to get my crayons. So what I've done, and so I started just trying to get my crayons and peel them traditionally by just using my fingers and trying to peel them off, but I found that trying to get the paper off that way was just kind of impossible. So what I did is I went and got a jar of water and I put all of my crayons in there and I've left them in there for, it's been about 7 minutes now, and I've seen that the paper is starting to peel off of the crayon. So you can take one, I can take one out now, and you'll see that the paper is just naturally coming off, and it's super easy to get the paper off of the crayon now versus earlier I was spending so much time trying to peel them all off. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the paper off of each individual crayon, and then we'll come back and we will start trying to arrange my crayons onto my canvas. So the next thing that I'm doing is I am going to take my crayons and use hot glue to secure them. Now, as we're doing this, you don't necessarily have to worry about the crayons being super secure with the hot glue because we are going to be melting them, and that in itself is going to make the crayons hold better onto the canvas. But you just want it to be so that the crayons don't wiggle out of place. So I'm putting some glue directly onto the crayons and then pushing them down so that they know where I want them to be when I get the hot glue gun out. I'm doing this with each of them, and I'm putting the glue directly onto the crayon just to help. What you might notice if you use hot glue like I am, the glue doesn't necessarily respond very well to the wax, and so I found that it's a little bit easier instead of trying to put the glue directly onto the canvas to actually try to put the glue directly onto the wax instead, and then gluing it down so that it will hold. So I'm just gonna keep doing that for the rest of my crayons here, and then we will get to the fun part.
So I am doing my crayons in a rainbow order. So I started with my reds and I go across Roy G. Biv all the way to the violets. I thought that would be a really cool effect, but you could definitely do it a different way if you wanted to try kind of dispersing your blues and your reds throughout. I would love to see how that turned out. The other thing you'll notice is that I am letting my crayons kind of halfway hang off just to give a little bit more distance. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I thought it would be good to let my crayons drip a little bit more before they reach the umbrella. So after we've done this, we're going to take our canvas and put it upright and begin melting our crayons down. You might want to have some cardboard or something to protect it. So you can see I have cardboard behind. And so we're going to get our blow dryer and melt the crayons down with the blow dryer. And so you'll also notice that I am using my other hand to hold that cup there over my kids. So I'm doing that so that I can make sure my wax doesn't get on the little children that I glued down there, but also it's going to have a really cool effect of making it look like the umbrella actually worked and is protecting them from the rain. So you can definitely use your hand and hold it that way. Another thing I realized after the fact that I could have done is secure the cup there with a string or something. So tie the string around the canvas tightly with the cup on there, and then I don't necessarily have to keep my hand holding it there the whole time. It's fine, I didn't mind it, but if you're using a bigger canvas or something where you might be doing this for longer amounts of time, you might want to consider that. And so pretty much what I'm just doing now is I'm just using my blow dryer and I'm melting down the colors to create the look that I want it to have. And then once I feel like it gets to a really good place, you can see this is the final result, and I think it looks really cool.